She glanced nervously around the room before raising her hand. Her arm was shaky, and I could tell that this was one of those questions that might come out with a few tears. She began her carefully rehearsed query, but by the end of the first few words, I knew exactly what she was asking and how to answer her. Every time I teach my intuitive plant medicine program, a course where students learn how to connect to the consciousness of the green world, this question arises. I often know it's coming because I can feel the worry rolling toward me like thunderclouds. Normally, the confession goes something like this. I love growing a garden, but since connecting to the plants on a deeper level, I feel so much guilt every time I try to weed or prune. What can I do? Whenever I get this question, I always smile warmly and send a wave of understanding. I know exactly how they feel. How many times have I, too, wondered if it's my place to pull an overgrown shrub or weed a dandelion root? The next thing I do, however, is give them the answer they didn't know they needed. Among their many benefits, beauties, and benedictions, gardens are here to teach us boundaries. People say that gardening is not for the sensitive soul, and in some ways they're right. On the surface, gardening looks like all daffodils and days in the sunshine, but behind every flourishing flower bed is hard labor and even harder decisions. Pulling up weeds, pruning vigorous growers, controlling invasive species. Gorgeous gardens are built upon boundaries and the difficult decisions they entail. In this respect, however, gardening is actually the perfect medicine for the sensitive soul. Gardens are graduate schools in the art of learning boundaries. I don't know any place where it is easier or more obvious to learn one of the core lessons of physical existence, that boundaries are what help us flourish. So many of us were raised in a culture where we have no idea what good boundaries look like or how life-giving they can be. For the kind of soft-hearted people who are naturally drawn to activities like gardening, knowing how to draw a boundary between self and non-self is even harder. Open to the whims, wonder, and rich watercolors of existence, people who are sensitive are naturally less boundaried than others. Whenever someone warily raises their hand in my class to ask this question, I normally get excited to talk to them, because I know that I'm speaking to a highly sensitive and deeply compassionate person who is ready to work on their boundaries with help from the more than human world. On the journey of realizing our own goodness, we will often be asked to start with defining and holding our boundaries. After all, how can we have compassion for ourselves or recognize the immense care this world has for us if we do not know how to delineate ourselves from others? How can we be a container for all the gifts that want to flow through us if we don't know how to shape the soft clay edges of our vessel? As much as spiritual traditions espouse the value of oneness, we can't ascend to such elevations until we first know how to cherish our own individual selves, the unique person we came to this world to be. You aren't just a self. You have a self. Though our unique souls are eternal, our bodies are a part of nature, on loan to us for the duration of our time here. When we can value and care for the selves we've been handed in this lifetime, we nourish and honor the creative earth and impulse that made us. This earth wants to show you just how worthy you truly are. But first, you must learn how to tend the garden of the self.